Crossfire with Femi D Live.
It's 6:30 a.m. Let's take on the headlines as we have them across the papers for today. We'd like to review stories from Daily Post, The Sun, Daily Trust, The Nation, Punch newspaper for today. Now, do remember the stories have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers, and we on Nigeria Info are only informing you of the headlines as we have them for today. All right?
This is Morning Crossfire.
Let's start off with the stories from Daily Post for today. March 11 polls, confusion over INEC postponement of state elections. Accord dissolves Oyo executive members over Makide's endorsement. Appeal Court okays INEC request to reconfigure BVAS. Police arraign federal lawmaker over money laundering. Southeast Group condemns alleged plot against Lagos LP Guba candidate and supporters. Other stories of interest in Oyo State. I'm not stepping down for Fulani. SDP candidate Lana speaks on this. Tinubu secures appeals court order to inspect presidential election materials. Lagos fire. Buhari reacts, mourns the death of security guard. Young Nigerians become suspects, harassed whenever they are seen with laptops. Patami speaks about this. International Women's Day. Now watch calls for more platforms for women to succeed. UNICEF begins rehabilitation of flood victims in Anambra State. Akwa Ibom Guba now. PDP fires back at YPP over rigging allegations. Obi won presidential poll, not Tinubu, says Afenifere. And then Adamawa LP distanced itself from Guba candidate's endorsement of APC's counterpart. Vote for APC candidate, Senator-elect begs Deltans. Rivers Guba now, why I'm supporting Toye Cole, Asari Dokubo. And that makes up a good part of the stories there, apart from Champions League, where Arteta speaks on leaving Arsenal for Real Madrid. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that clears things up with regards to that. And there's also the story on how a prophet allegedly defiled visually impaired minor. Police arraign woman for allegedly accusing Akwa Ibom governor of adultery. NDLEA arrests 793 suspects in Abuja. Teenager, 6 others rape female friend in Adamawa State. 1 dead as fire engulfs spare part market in Lagos. Police arrest suspected armed robber terrorizing Delta community. And those would have to be stories from Daily Post for today. Moving on to the Sun newspaper for today. You find gunmen attack Igbo PDP assembly candidate, raises houses and vehicles. Fish out perpetrators of Akere Auto Parts market fire. Sanwo-Olu charges CP. President Buhari at bilateral meetings. INEC postpones governorship and state assembly elections to March 18. INEC considers shifts in Guba elections. Zamfara PDP raises alarm over PDP to manipulate, Zamfara PDP raises alarm over plan to manipulate Guba polls. No need for uprising in aftermath of February 25 presidential poll. APC chieftain Ikedife Jr. speaks. Kaduna Guba. Apostle Kure urges Muslims, Christians to unite and vote out hardship. March 11 Guba election is between Wike and Rivers people, says APC chieftain. Lagos, I don't control police and army, says Sanwo-Olu. Delta Guba, court dismisses suit seeking to disqualify PDP's Obore Vowori in Delta State there. All right, those are some of the big headlines from the Sun newspaper for today. Okay, let's move on to Daily Trust for today now. INEC, why we postponed governorship election. INEC postpones governorship election is also there. Our governors are desperately seeking for help. Musawa, a pioneer progressive, exits the stage. Dogowa Adefarati denied certificates as INEC presents to reps-elect. Atiku charges Gadzama 18 others stands to reclaim mandate and strengthen democracy. Appeal Court rejects Obi's request to stop BVAS reconfiguration. That's on one part. It doesn't get to check BVAS, but it gets to check the backup server. Okay, so that that's a little bit clear from how things are. And then all the stories of interest this very morning. We have INEC declares no winner in Dogowa's constituency, fixes rerun in 13 polling units. I will negotiate with bandits if I become Kaduna governor. PDP candidate speaks up. 3 days to governorship poll. Governors in last-minute push. Woo voters with incentives. All right. And then of interest as well, CBN should rethink monetary policy, says economists. This is what they do put forward to President Muhammadu Buhari and, of course, the CBN governor with regards to that. And then you find our policies have placed women exporters on global map. Of interest as well, Serika lauds NIMET's efficient use of resources and product innovation. NLC asks Bauchi government to pay outstanding benefits to retirees. Of interest as well, Oshibajo marks 66th birthday in Borno State. And also still taking a look at all the stories here. NACA moves to review civil aviation regulations 8 years after. And then let's look at this. In Kaduna State, APC kicks as PDP governorship candidate promises dialogue with bandits. Okay? All right, let's see where that leads to. Xavi set for Barcelona contract extension. All right, well, this would have to be stories from Daily Trust for today. Now, to go to the Nation newspaper for today, INEC shifts governorship and assembly poll by 1 week. Old notes, MFLA in contempt for not directing banks. 324 House of Representative members elect get certificate of return. Tinubu to Ligati, defend my mandate. Democracy. Okay, that's what he speaks about. Court declines Obi's request to stop agency from resetting BVAS. NSCIA cautions against truncating transition. Paul tips Sanwo-Olu to retain seat. Parties. Atiku's group endorses Rivers PDP candidate Fubara. My plans for Lagos by a court candidate. High-flying Osimhen wins second Serie A player of the month. Buhari to Nigerians in diaspora support Tinubu. Youth empowerment dominates Tinubu's talk with Elumelu. When Otedola's philanthropic train birthed at Augustine Varsity, court orders INEC to upload election results to IREV. Custom arrest 18 suspects impound 9 trailer loads of rice. Court remands Kwara Hospital chief on murder charges. Other stories, LP chieftains endorse PDP's Howie for Abia governor. Oh, I do know I didn't pronounce that right. I have no idea how that's pronounced. If anybody do knows, when you call in, please let me know how that's pronounced, okay? Sheath your sword, back president-elect, says Digbenro, okay? I will transform education in Akwa Ibom. All right, well, those stories will have to be stories leading the way in the nation. Now, moving on to the Punch newspaper. Ivory Coast hands over bodies of post-election violence victims to families. Hoodlum killed ASP shot in a Boeing gun duel. International Women's Day, NITP chair celebrates women's political and economic achievements. INEC shifts governorship assembly poll by 1 week. INEC must transmit governorship polls results electronically, says court. Poll. Tinubu, Atiku, Obi hire 89 cents for legal battle. How ex-CAS orders diverted Air Force 2 billion naira fund, EFCC witness. Long few queues ground Abuja and neighboring states. Roadblock. Robbers attack punchman as soldiers extort Ogun motorists. Hoodlum killed ASP shot in a Boeing gun duel. And then gunmen set Imo politicians home ablaze. Buhari, Sanwo-Olu, others mourn as hoodlums kill guard, burn shops. Missing Ondo teenager found hanging on tree. Fire raises 19 shops, mosque in Kano market. Lagos pastor defiles 13-year-old blind girl. Niger terrorists abduct 53, kill pregnant woman and 4 villagers. All right, well, these are some of the stories that you would find in the Punch newspaper for today, including 339 million liters of petrol distributed in 1 week, according to NNPCL. Well, these are the headlines as we have them for today. Thanks for listening in. Do remember the stories have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers, and we on Nigeria Info have only informed you of the headlines as we have them for today.
This is Morning Crossfire.
As we take on your calls, do remember to follow through with our editorial guide. Your calls need to be devoid of hateful speech, lies, fake news, and abuses. We're streaming live as we have it right now on YouTube. That's on at Nigeria Info Abuja on YouTube. Just search for Nigeria Info Abuja if that's your choice of locating us. Or alternatively, you can as well go on and do Facebook at Nigeria Info. You'll find us on Facebook as well. All right, with that said, we'd like to take your calls. Do remember your calls need to be devoid of hateful speech, lies, fake news, and abuses. We ask of you to be truthful and factual as you share with us on Nigeria Info. We plead with you to keep your emotions in check as you share with us on Nigeria Info. We look forward to your comments and your calls.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Watch your #1 talk station of the nation. Nigeria Info, every day of the week, Mondays to Friday, on YouTube to catch up with the Morning Crossfire.
All right, let's take your calls on 0700 951 0000. That's 0700 951 0000. You can also check in on 080 95 97 4869, and on WhatsApp it's 080 999 30137. Let's take your calls this very morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Dr. Femi. Good morning. My name is Mommy. I'm so happy to get through to you.
You're welcome, madam.
God directs INEC to upload results during gubernatorial election. I just had that I begin to wonder. Sometimes we defend what is not. Could you remember the House sat one day and we are deliberating transmission or transfer of the result? Why do we sometimes support what is wrong? Dr. Femi, gubernatorial election shifted till next week. I want to ask this question. People do what they do because they get free with it. Why will somebody put us in this situation? If the election was free and fair, would this have happened? And nobody will punish them. You say you declare results under duress. You will come, you will not report. Somebody will say you to go and do this thing. You will do it. And they will get away with it. And that is why we are where we are. We don't punish people. A week, some people have left their country, their base, to go cast vote, only for them to get to Nigeria 2 days to election. No election till next week. And it is sacrosanct that INEC have to shift that election because they are not ready. Presidential election, not all is there. The BVAS, they need to configure it. Even the adult staff that were used, they were complaining they were not paid. Logistics, Dr. Femi. The main problem we have is some politicians will do certain things and walk away with it. If we start punishing people, we end their political career, we send them to jail. No matter who you are, people will not stop doing bad and will be where we are. Have a lovely program. Good morning.
All right, good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Oh, that will stay true. Let's give this line a try and this other one a try. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dr. Femi. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for connecting.
Yes, Abubakar from Senegal.
All right, welcome, Abubakar.
Kidnapper adopt 60-something people in Niger State. Yeah, that is happening around three local government Euro. I think the Niger State governor, what is he doing? And you will not hear anything from him as a strong message how to protect human life. You swear him as a chief security officer in the state to protect life and property. I think upcoming election, governorship, if people in the state should lower the type of candidates they are voting for to be a governor in that state. And I think Abubakar hire lawyers and the people of the rest. The former vice president, when he was the former vice president at 6 years, him and Obasanjo, is there any political party that is winning election and they are wearing black clothes to the INEC headquarters? Is that not a courtesy? Wearing black for the INEC office.
Why is black? Why is black a courtesy color? That's what I wonder about. Usually black is worn to symbolize mourning in Africa, and I think as well around the world, it indicates a sense of mourning, not necessarily courtesan or being diabolic.
Okay, that is what they mean by themselves.
Yes.
There's the way we live in it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for your viewpoint on that. There are many colors and there are many interpretations to them. All right, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning once again, Dr. Family.
Yes, good morning to you.
This is Aruna.
Okay, welcome.
All right. INEC should have a rethink on their policy, new Naira note policy. I think, Femi, can I ask you this question?
Yes,
as a
please.
Journalist?
Okay.
Like now that the Supreme Court passed a judgment about this new Naira note, and for the past 6 days, tomorrow it will make it a week now, no response from CBN. What is the next action?
Okay. So what should normally happen is when a court has made a ruling and the ruling has been served on the government parastatus such as CBN, what should happen is that they get their legal team to study it and interpret for the administrators within that institution to say, this is what the court has said, this is what we need to follow through without breaking the law. These are the areas we can still go around and do other things that this judgment doesn't cover. Now, what usually is done in many clever institutions, and I'm not saying whether CBN is clever or not, is they will say something like, oh, we're still studying the judgment. They could study the judgment for 1 week. They could study for 2 weeks. They could study for 3 weeks. They could study for 1 month. It's a clever sequence. They're not saying they're not obeying it. They're just saying they're studying the judgment for clauses, for phrases, to help them carry out or give directive in the next line of operation. And in some other clever institutions, what they also do is they do not give any new directive directly that judgment pertains around. They give directive on, for example, you need to keep a minimum base on capital of every other thing except on what the judgment was about. So there are many clever ways in which organizations go around judgments because they have very brilliant lawyers who help them to not to break the law, but just to go around it. And unfortunately, that may be what we're experiencing. Maybe what we're experiencing. That's what I said. Maybe. It may be what we're experiencing.
It's all right, Dr. Family. But please, they should act fast. Nigerians are dying. Thank you very much, Dr. Family.
Thank you so much. Hello to your family.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes. All right. Gabriel Kokwat Watching live from Maraba Asobi, you write that in on Facebook. Afsat Muazu says, our condolences to the families and friends of Malam Musawa. And then I also have the message from Ogulade Taibo Johnson FMD. I miss you. Pastor TJ from Dubai, I miss you too. I'm good doing live from Dubai. Okay, no wahala. Lagos fire, open confrontation with Indigbo. Thou shalt not kill ends with what are you trying to kill me for? Self-defense is natural. It's a bad word. I think that's what you do right around the lines of that. Okay, let's take on this call. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Femi.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. My name is Al-Hassan Tatai Medola from Yagondaka, local Ministerial State.
All right, welcome.
Yeah, two people fight one person, and nobody, they cannot do anything because it's already signed as well as Tinubu. So the matter made to go to court several times. After election, that is, how can I say, they are going to after the gate because if somebody scored the ball and the player is already blew the ball, nobody will stop signing the ball. So Tinubu will score the ball and nobody is going to cancel the ball. Thank you very much for now.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. Beckley Atabo says, Godwin Emefiele is one current challenge in Nigeria right now. Why is he reluctant to address banks, yet no cash in the society? Some banks dispensed old notes, but the society still rejects it. Ubon Gibano says, Femdi, good morning. Thank you for your continuous job well done. The big question with all what is going on in our politics and in court is which way Nigeria. Peter Arce says, good morning, Femdi. The court case on Naira redesign, Nigerians are already accepting it. Shouldn't the court favor the people rather than the governors who have these monies stashed in their houses? And then Ibrahim Ajara just greets this morning. Atunuke Aderi Bigbe says, you're doing well, sir. Femi Daniel, she writes, okay, oh no, wahala. With regards to the middle part of the name that as you think it is, no wahala. But these are just some of the realities on ground as we would have it. Yes, before I do forget, next week I'm off. I'm taking a break from the show. Somebody lovely will be taking on Morning Crossfire for at least 2 weeks of the show. I'll be out of town. Just need to rest off the elections. Apparently, they moved the elections into the middle of my leave, but I'll be resting off. I just need to say that so that you are very warm and accepting of all this as well. Jonathan Greber says, watching live from Garki, Area 7. Sabo says, Femi D, if court stops state gubernatorial elections because of BVAS, then it's right for LPPDP to challenge court to cancel presidential elections. Well, that's your viewpoint on that. Stay with us right here on Nigeria Info. We'll be back after the break. Yeah, this is Nigeria Info 95.1. Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way